from the pit.
Where do I end and The Bachelor begins?
Yes.
I don't know. My scream is obviously our state of the game. The Tyler Cameron. Oh, now I'm using Tyler as my back pillow. Going home with Tyler Cameron party. This is my scream. I now have. This is the only person that I have a pillow of, so that's very special. And something happened at the party, which is, I thought you and Erica and maybe a few Bachelor people would be the only people I recognized at this party.
Mm-hmm.
And there were many reality and TikTok stars there, but there were also two other people who were my coworkers from back in the day when I worked at a talent agency. And one of them is now, he was part of the event planning for this. And the other guy is apparently Tyler Cameron's manager.
Yeah.
That was shocking.
That's the dark energy of the pit.
All roads lead to Bachelor and back to the talent agency.
Yeah.
None of them, everyone left.
Yeah.
But
I found that pretty
them
astounding
and-
too. That
Yeah.
one of your coworkers is literally Tyler Cameron's manager now. And it's like the world seems
Yeah.
very small when you realize the pit holds the entire world in it.
And I had brought Erica, who's not entertainment related, but had worked at that agency before she became a doctor. So
And I believe is a very strong seminal member of the pit. Even though she never has done the podcasting and she went on to become a doctor, I get it. Even though all of that happened, I consider
sick
her,
kids or whatever.
yeah, whatever she's doing to help save lives.
Look, we make lives better too, okay?
Sure, we're saving lives, one scream at a time. I do believe that she was an integral part of the formation of the pit.
Yeah. I think she filmed a lot of our demonic rituals at
Yeah,
first.
she did.
And she was always there, mostly studying at the end, but she was watching. And she was there. Her husband is the one who introduced us to the Great One in the first place.
God, that's true. The dark energies are everywhere.
They're everywhere.
And I can tell you where they were on Tuesday night. Because my
Nice
scream,
transition.
thank you. My scream involves every once in a while, if my Instagram suggestions start repeating, I'm like, fuck it, I'll buy it. So I bought a new pair of shoes this
What?
week from Instagram, which I love.
If an ad repeats enough times, you'll just buy it?
Yeah, because I'm like, I'll trust the algorithm. And it's never steered me wrong.
Oh my God.
So
What? What do you mean it's never steered you wrong? How's that possible?
everything I've ever bought that Instagram has told me to buy, I have liked.
Wow.
So, like I said, I bought a pair of these shoes, and I'm walking around in these shoes now, and that's fun.
What kind?
What are they called even?
Sneakers?
Yeah, here. They're called Flux, sorry.
Oh, whoa. It looks like a sock.
Yeah, it's great.
Interesting.
They have like a little, I don't know how to call it, like the thing inside, the insole is like, has a texture on it, so it like massages your foot while you walk, supposedly. Whatever. I like them. That's not even what I'm talking about. Another thing that Instagram has been serving up to me is this place called Mayo Detox. There are multiple of them in Los Angeles. There's one in West Hollywood, like 5 minutes from me. And it essentially is a physical therapy kind of place, but they specialize in like really digging in deep into your muscles and stuff and like breaking up all of your fascia, right? And I have from years of it's just like tissue that can kind of build up, and it's like your whole body is connected with this stuff. So like you can have, if you have like a sore back, you can feel it in your foot sometimes. Weird shit like that, right? So I've had a bad right side of my kind of like shoulder, upper back for a long time. I think due to excessive repetitive use when I played baseball for many years. And now it's just like, oh, it didn't like that. And now it's just going to seize up and be
Ty-Ty.
terrible. Me and who?
TC?
He played baseball?
He's an athlete. You're both athletes.
He played football, though.
You don't throw with the same hand?
He wasn't a quarterback, A. And no, you throw a lot more in baseball than you ever would in football. So,
Okay. Mr. Sportsman.
So I have had these pains in my shoulder and shit for a long time, and I always go get deep tissue massages, and that doesn't help. And I do all kinds of stuff to try and help. It doesn't help. So I'm like, screw
Okay.
it. I'm gonna go
Fine.
test this out. I go to this place. I sign up. I go in, and I'm on this table, and this guy is like wrenching on my back and stuff. And he's like, "So what do you do?" And I'm like, "Do you watch The Bachelor?" I proceed to do an hour-long dragging into the pit of a man who is ripping the shit out of all the muscles in my back to the most painful degree that I've ever had any kind of a massage or anything like this. And it did help. It did work. So once again, the Instagram algorithm, correct. Yeah. I booked some more sessions and stuff. I'm going to go back in the next week or
It
two.
fixed your shoulder?
Didn't fix it, but it made it feel a lot better. Yeah. So hopefully with repeated sessions or whatever, it'll be fully better. But I've never had an experience of trying to drag somebody in the pit while I was not only in extreme physical pain, but the person I'm trying to drag in is the cause of the physical pain. And it worked. He said he'd listen to our show. So if you're listening, thank you. Thank you for
I
listening at
thought
my
you
shoulder.
were going to say you tried to recruit him.
No, I did not do that. My apologies. All right.
Well, I'm happy to hear about your good fascia.
Thank you.
I think it's good to, it's kind of like you're dissociating while the pain is going on. You're like,
Yeah.
if I could just talk about the pit, it's like I'm doing something else.
You know
It's
what?
like at work.
I think one of my other screams was this too. I did this to a nurse while I was getting a colonoscopy. It really is my safe space, the pit. At any rate, let's now move on to hearing a scream from someone else in the pit. As you might know, if you're on our Patreon at patreon.com/gameroses, you get access to our Discord. In that Discord, there's a channel where you can upload a 1 minute or shorter scream of your very own. We play the best ones here. Let's take a listen to this one.
Hello, my beloved pit. This week, I got to experience something truly miraculous. And yeah, I also saw the total solar eclipse, but that's not my scream. Because here's the thing, I love Cleveland. I love Cleveland. When I decided where to go to watch the eclipse, of course I went to Cleveland. So there I was on Monday, standing on the rooftop deck on the 15th floor of the iconic Terminal Tower downtown, surrounded by a ton of other people there to witness one of the last beautiful things that we could see from our dying planet. And I was chatting with somebody who told me that her husband worked in Cleveland tourism. And on a lark, I said, hey, does he know anything about a date that happened in Cleveland, maybe 5 years ago or so, for the TV show The Bachelor? And when she said, oh yeah, that was him, I screamed. I screamed out loud. Everybody looked at me. Of course, I dragged her immediately. And I also made sure to tell her husband, to tell all of his coworkers, that I Love Cleveland is now an iconic play in our beloved game.
Outstanding.
Oh my Palmer. What?
I
That
know.
was so funny.
Yeah.
I can't believe this.
Neither can I.
I
And it
feel
took
like-
place
I
during
feel
the
like I need a
eclipse.
follow-up.
Like
That
it doesn't
is
get more
funny.
pit energy than that. You know what I mean?
Than ignoring the eclipse.
Yeah. Or that it's even just happening during an eclipse is very interesting
Yeah.
to me as well.
Ooh, yes. That is witchy.
Yeah, there's some darkness there.
This is amazing. I kind of want to follow up because I'm like, I want to know how much money did Cleveland pay Bachelor?
I don't know.
Or is it just that they all go there for free? I'm very curious.
Yeah, me too.
Thank you for this amazing scream.
Absolutely incredible.
And congrats on seeing the eclipse.
Yeah, and congrats on dragging someone into the pit who worked on iconic season 24 of The Bachelor during a solar eclipse. That's a once-in-a-lifetime event. We thank you for sharing it with us as your scream.
Technically I saw it, but it was too bright.
Oh, right. You looked
I
into the
looked.
sun.
I looked.
Jesus. That's a scream in and of itself. I have no idea how that relates to The Bachelor, but somehow it must.
Look, I laugh at those photos of 45 looking,
Me
but I
too.
look.
Everybody laughs at that. It's pretty funny.
It is funny.
But we thank you once again for submitting your screams, and anybody else out there, again, you just go to patreon.com/gameroses, get in that Discord, and fire off your scream into the Screams from the Pit channel. We thank everyone for joining us today. And like I said earlier, patreon.com also
Time
has
to get
me
down.
watching the first
Oh.
episode of The Matchmaker. And yes, time to get down also. also. But Pace Case, before we go, as always, what
I'm
is
so
that
happy for
dwab
you,
at?
for your show. It has been 8,053 days without an Asian bachelor. Praise be Dark Lord Palmer.